Thank you for joining us, Aaron Regunberg.
Thanks for having me.
When you weigh the pros and cons, how great is the risk of forcing out a sitting president to make way for Kamala Harris or someone else when you really don't have proof that they'll do any better?
I mean, I think the reason that millions of Americans and Democrats across the country are feeling so much relief and gratitude today, gratitude to President Biden for doing the right thing and passing the torch and being the public servant and patriot who puts country first that we all knew he has always been, is because we are now on a path where we have a fighting chance to win this election, which is something that I think it had become pretty clear we were not prior to today. And that is an exciting thing. I think Democrats are more energized right now than we've been in a long time. Folks are ready to come together, unite around a new ticket and knock on doors and make phone calls and do everything we can to beat Donald Trump, because we understand that this election is existential in nature. Democracy is on the ballot. Abortion access is on the ballot. A livable future is on the ballot. And we're going to do whatever we can to win.
Some Republicans say that Joe Biden is too frail to serve as president and he should step down now, which would elevate Kamala Harris to president now. Could that benefit her in the November election if she were to serve 3 months now as commander in chief and be the first female president?
Honestly, that's above my pay grade. I think President Biden has made clear that he's going to serve out the rest of his term, which I think is great. I mean, he has been the best president of my lifetime, and he has not been our best standard bearer for the 2024 election. And so he has now done the right thing and passed the torch to someone who's going to be able to deliver our democratic message, who's going to be able to use her prosecutorial experience to prosecute the case against a 34-count convicted felon, Donald Trump, to make sure that the GOP and their horrifying Project 2025 agenda doesn't get anywhere back into power.
What was your reaction when you heard that the president was dropping out of the race? Did you have any mixed feelings about your role, getting what you wanted, but also being a Democrat, pushing for a Democratic president to drop out of the race?
Well, it's actually, I've been so incredibly proud today to be a Democrat, because the thing about the Democratic Party is that we are committed to the public good. We're committed to doing what's right. It's not about one individual. We've seen where that leads with the Republican Party and their cultish obsession with Donald Trump. The Democratic Party is about putting regular people, working people first, about protecting our rights and freedoms. And that's what President Biden did today. Again, though he has been a great president, he was putting us in severe danger if he stayed at the top of the ticket. And he showed that he puts country first and listens to the millions of Democratic voters who have been urging this, whether through Pass the Torch or in all sorts of other ways. The last poll I saw found 2/3 of Democrats wanted him to pass the torch. He's someone who has always listened to the people, and that's why we engaged in this work, because we had faith that he would listen, that he would do the right thing. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been out. We wouldn't have been making phone calls. We wouldn't have been mobilizing and organizing. We wouldn't have had that action at the White House. We knew that he would listen, and we're so grateful to him for, like George Washington before him, taking that step, passing the torch, and now I think Democrats are ready again to unite around a new nominee and do whatever we can to make sure that we can protect and build on the incredible achievements of the Biden administration.
And if it is Kamala Harris as the nominee, how do you think she'll do?
I think she'll be phenomenal. Again, she's a capable communicator. She is a historic candidate. She is a former prosecutor running against a convicted felon. And in addition, she's helped by the fact that Democrats have been doing great, right? We have not had a Democratic problem this election cycle. Democrats are winning special elections. Our Democratic swing state senators have been polling great, double digits over President Biden. We haven't had a Democratic problem. Americans don't like Donald Trump. They don't like this horrifying Project 2025 agenda. They've just needed someone who they felt comfortable with and who could deliver that message. And we have that person now, and we can come together and knock on doors and make phone calls and do everything it takes to win.
Aaron Regunberg, thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.